Okay, so Patrick Mullins joins us, ambassador again for the season. Patrick, fantastic to have you with us on Sporting Life. And you're going to talk through just a handful of horses to follow for the upcoming jump season. Horses that you've nominated in the Horses to Follow book, Time Form Horses to Follow, out now for anyone interested. We're going to kick off with Carnaque. This is a newcomer to the ad.
Yes, a cap guard 4-year-old gelding. He was second in pole first time out, and then second in Toy in a second run. Only had 2 runs. He's been bought by Gigginstown, obviously by Capguard, who's a very good stallion. Comes highly recommended from Isabel Paco, who'll be a very good trainer in France. And look, it's early days. We haven't got to look under the bonnet of any of these horses, but he certainly ticks a lot of the boxes that you want to be ticked. And hopefully now when we start pressing some buttons, he'll be as good as he looks.
So as we speak now, this horse is already 4, isn't he? So he's not going to be a juvenile hurdler. He's likely to just sort of go straight into the novice ranks, is he?
He'll be a novice hurdler going forward. Regards distance, it's too early to say really, but he's a novice hurdler, yeah.
Okay. And one of the bumper horses from last year, I think you wanted to nominate Cupek de Board.
Yeah, look, he didn't go to Cheltenham, but he was only 4 last year. So we kept him for the big Tattersalls sales race in Fairyhouse, 100 grand race. And he decimated the field. And he hadn't had the clearest preparation. I think we all would have forgiven him if he had, blown up or got a bit tired in the last hurling. But the performance he put in just blew me away. He was soft ground, Fairyhouse, a big galloping track, and he just blew the field apart. He's a no risk at all. He's plenty of size and scope for a 4-year-old of his size to put in a performance like that. Always has to be marked up. And I would imagine he's going to be a staying novice hurdler, whether that's the 2.5 or the 3 mile, I'm not sure. But I just think he's a horse with a huge engine, and he might, because he can go to Cheltenham, he just might not be on everyone's radar.
No, he's definitely one to look forward to. And another horse that I'd say probably blew you away in that sort of single bumper performance last season was Morin.
Yeah, Morin. She looked fantastic for Close Sutton Racing Club. For them to get a good horse. She's obviously got a great pedigree, walk in the park, and closely related to Faugheen, has a similar white stripe. Again, a fine big chasing type mare, lots of size and scope. And, the performance she put in and punched down there, she just ran away with them in the last, it wasn't that she, it was a bit different than Cupek de Board. She just showed a great turn of foot in the last 2 furlongs. So you'd imagine the mare's novice hurdlers were the first aim, and then depending on what happens through the season, we can adjust. But she would be definitely one for the mare's chase further down the line. But she's going to be very exciting and definitely fantastic for a Close Sutton Racing Club to have her.
Yeah, obviously a really good programme for those mares, both sides of the Irish Sea, but yeah, particularly in Ireland. Another one, another 4-year-old this autumn, Salvatore Monday. Is this one that we didn't see a huge amount of last season?
Yeah, again, he's a few people probably clocked him. He ran first time out, obviously in Triumph, ran really well, finished 6th. He ran a bit keen, he wore a hood. It was a big ask of him, but, we didn't, by the time we got him ready, we didn't want to be just losing our novice season for the sake of winning one. So we aimed high, a la Ilete Thomas. He did the same. He was placed in the Triumph, came out then and won grade 1s as a novice hurdler and novice chaser. He went to Tipperary then and won by 60 lengths. I think it was probably one of those races where a lot of the other horses, I think there was a difference of pace as opposed to maybe pure ability. But he's a horse who works very well. He was obviously second to Sir Gino in Artois. And I just like that profile of going for, he's had a season racing, but he's essentially a second season novice. He looked tailor-made for a Supreme in my book.
Fantastic. Really, really exciting horse. I wonder if 60 lengths is the record for one of yours. There'll be anoraks out there, Patrick, that probably know that.
Gaelic Warrior in Tramore might have been similar. One day.
Yeah, maybe 72 or something, wasn't it? We'll look that up after the video, but he's a very exciting horse with the Sky Bet Supreme. Has his long-term targets. Now, you proof, is that right? A Mutahir horse, another really big sort of sizable horse, as you say in the book.
Yeah, you proof. Just a horse that catches my eye in the gallop. Again, we had him in last spring, but he only won his point last spring. We got him, and we toyed with the idea of running him a punch down, but in the end, we didn't. Which is something that we did with Factor File as well. We toyed running him and punch down as a bumper horse. We didn't. We brought him back then for bumpering the next season. Again, he's strong, he's tall, he's muscular, and he was beaten in his 4-year-old maiden, but I wouldn't mind that. He comes from Pat Doyle. We've had a lot of success buying off Pat with horses that haven't won. He was beaten by one Derek O'Connor's that out of sway. That I like the way you're thinking. I know the way you're thinking. All of those, and Derek's horses were just on fire last spring. Nothing could beat them. So I wouldn't be too worried that he didn't win. And again, like I was saying earlier with one of the horses, just the Kopek de Boer, is that when they have that big size, what they can do at 4, there has to be huge improvement in them. So I'm hoping he's going to be one of my top bumper horses this year.
Fantastic. Yeah, you've dropped some big names there, Patrick. There's some big shoes to fill in the Close Sutton yard when you're talking about those horses that are currently stars of the show. These could be the next superstars in the making. So thanks to Patrick for the 5 to follow. That is Carnique, Kopek de Boer, Morin, Salvatore Mundi, and U-Proof. 5 to follow from Patrick Mullins. I'm sure we'll be getting further updates throughout the season, and you never know, you might want to tinker with that list as we go along, Patrick. But thanks as ever for joining us. We'll speak to you again soon.
Thanks so much, Matt.